I tasted hate streets, hanging trees. I tasted hate streets, hanging trees.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in this week to the IT video update. Progress has persisted with the account and contact data, but it's a little slower than originally projected. We underestimated the nuances that have to do with migrating the data over into the new system, and we underestimated the impact of deduplicating the account and contact data within Salesforce and between Salesforce and SysPro, as I have articulated previously in these videos. The deduplication ultimately limited our ability to seamlessly transition between the two systems. And so looking at the system from your perspective, it just wasn't a great idea. So we had to abolish that idea completely and just keep chugging along, moving forward. And this most likely is going to push back our planned pilot timeline for March. We are doing everything we can to be sure that this switch from the old system to the new system is as easy and non-disruptive to your workflow as possible. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Lauren, the system doesn't have to be perfect. We just need to get in there. We just need to start working on it. This is when true progress is going to be made. And though you're not wrong, it doesn't mean that we can't ignore the required items that need to be completed before we can get you into the system. We're not only trying to migrate data from one system to another, but we're doing that twice, or with two systems, and we're trying to integrate them together. It's impossible to be perfect, but it's not impossible to get it at least 90% right. And that's what we're striving for. And so, though I will admit that I often aspire to perfection, I cannot do that with this project, and I assure you that that is not what is going on. Our aim for this project and the data migration is for, in general, we want it to be accurate. We want it to be easy for you to use and to find your data that was in the previous system. But ultimately, we need to achieve the objective of this project. And to bring it back around to the very start, the whole reason that we're working on this is we need to integrate our CRM and our ERP together. We need to reduce the duplication that's required on your part, and we need to have reliable data. And in order to achieve reliable data, we have to put thought and effort into the data migration and validation process. So it means that when we do find an issue with the data, we have no choice but to investigate it and to figure out, why is this an issue? Is this something we can live with or not? This is even more important if it would disrupt your ability to contact a customer because none of the contact information came over. And it just takes time to think through these things and make sure that we're making decisions that are good for the business as a whole. A good example is that this week I was seeing that the mobile phone and email weren't coming over. And after investigating that for a little bit, we figured out why, and we were able to get those over. But if we hadn't spent the time randomly selecting a subset of the data and then checking and making sure that they matched between the two systems, I wouldn't have found that issue, and then you would have lost your customer contact information. Now, it would have been available in an extract somewhere, but that requires a lot of work on your part to find it.
Woman, please be gone. You stayed here much too long.
What I hear from you repeatedly, your number one and number two concerns, is that you won't get enough support for training and that the system will be glitchy. So, United Access, thank you for giving me the time to be able to address those concerns so that we minimize any issues for your use of the system in the future.
Don't you wish that you could cry? Don't you wish I would die? See me seesaw kids, child women on the skids. The dust will choke you blind, the lust will choke your mind.